Welcome back. A live look at the Capitol dome right between us this morning. There is a new vote to potentially end the partial government shutdown expected as early as this week. The Senate's due to vote on a reconciliation bill that would restore funding to agencies like ICE and Border Patrol, and that would begin the process of ending what's now become the longest shutdown ever for parts of the Department of Homeland Security. CBS News congressional reporter Taurean Small is there on Capitol Hill and could join us with the latest. Taurean, good Monday morning to you. Where do these talks stand?
So, Errol, right now we know that the Senate is looking to pass through that budget reconciliation package that would fund ICE and CBP. There's been a holdup on funding this Department of Homeland Security as House Speaker Mike Johnson put the brakes to moving that through his chamber until he get guarantees that Republicans on the other side of Capitol Hill were serious about making good on their promise to fully fund ICE and CBP through that partisan measure. The problem, though, here could be in the fact that there's an appetite to go beyond just what was originally proposed, which is funding those two agencies. A lot of Republicans are looking at this as their last opportunity to really force through President Trump's agenda before Democrats get the opportunity to potentially regain control of the House and the Senate, which is why they're looking at reconciliation as that vehicle. The problem, though, is that Leader John Thune wants to keep this, in his words, skinny, which is only funding for this so he can move it expeditiously. But that could face backlash from people across the chambers, especially those hardline Republicans.
And Taurean, even if this vote passes, there's still some big obstacles in the House. Tell us about those challenges.
Yeah, I mean, right before the recess, the 2-week recess, we saw hardline Republicans in the House Freedom Caucus come out and saying they absolutely would not be voting to pass that DHS funding bill because they want to see assurances that ICE and CBP would be beefed up. And as the negotiations continue, it's looking like they want to fund ICE and CBP for the next 3 years, not just a one-year budget proposal or budget spending that was initially proposed as part of this deal between both chambers. That would also be one that Republicans that were hardline before would want to see expanded even further if they could fund it beyond that. That's on top of the funding that was included in the One Big Beautiful Bill for ICE operations. The sentiment among Democrats would be potentially to change their minds on voting for the DHS spending bill. With the very narrow majority that Republicans have, any defections within their own party and then potentially no support from Democrats would mean that that DHS funding bill would be dead on arrival. And this would mean this government shutdown, already the longest government shutdown, would continue. And to remind our viewers, this started February 14th, so it's been a very long time since this department was funded.
Too long. Taurean, thank you so much.
Thanks.